A love beyond wealth. Nadia was born into a wealthy family, where luxury was a way of life. Her parents had always envisioned her marrying a successful businessman or a well-established professional. However, fate had other plans. During her university years, she met Ayaan, a humble yet ambitious young man from a poor background. He worked part-time jobs to support his education and his struggling family. Despite his hardships, Ayaan had a heart full of kindness, dreams bigger than the sky, and an unwavering determination to build a better future. Nadia was drawn to his honesty and resilience. Unlike the wealthy men she knew who flaunted their riches, Ayaan had nothing but his sincerity and hard work to offer. Over time, their friendship turned into love. However, when Nadia's family learned about their relationship, they were outraged. "You have everything: wealth, status, and beauty. Why throw it away for a man who can't even afford a decent life for you?" her father argued. But Nadia had made up her mind. Love, she believed, was not about riches, but about character. She defied her family's wishes and married Ayaan, walking away from the luxury she had always known. The couple started their life in a small rented apartment, struggling to make ends meet. Nadia, who had once lived in a mansion, now learned to budget every penny. There were days when they could barely afford a proper meal, but through every hardship, their love remained strong. Ayaan never stopped working hard. He continued his studies while taking on odd jobs. Nadia, too, took up a small teaching job to support their household. They were poor in wealth but rich in dreams and love. One day, Ayaan received an opportunity of a lifetime, an internship at a prestigious multinational company. His hard work and intelligence impressed his superiors, and soon he was offered a permanent job with a handsome salary. With his dedication, he climbed the corporate ladder faster than anyone expected. Within a few years, he became a well-respected businessman, starting his own company. Meanwhile, Nadia's sacrifices and faith in him never went unnoticed. Ayaan ensured that she lived like a queen, not because she had once been rich, but because she had stood by him when he had nothing. News of Ayaan's success reached Nadia's family. The same people who had once mocked their marriage now praised their love story. Her father, ashamed of his past judgment, visited them and finally acknowledged Ayaan as his son-in-law. Despite their newfound wealth, Nadia and Ayaan never forgot their struggles. They donated to charity, helped underprivileged students, and remained humble. Their journey proved that love, patience, and determination could overcome any obstacle. Nadia had chosen love over wealth, but destiny had given her both. And in the end, she realized that true richness was never about money. It was about having someone who stood by you through thick and thin. Struggles and sacrifices. Nadia and Ayaan had built their love on trust and dreams, but reality was far from easy. After defying her wealthy family to marry Ayaan, Nadia found herself in a world she had never known, one where every rupee mattered. Their small apartment was nothing like the mansion she had grown up in, and luxuries like fine dining and expensive clothes were distant memories. Ayaan worked tirelessly, juggling multiple jobs while completing his studies. He left early in the morning and returned late at night, exhaustion written all over his face. Despite his struggles, he always greeted Nadia with a tired but warm smile. She, too, had taken up a teaching job at a local school, contributing whatever she could to their household. The days were tough. There were times when they had to choose between paying rent or buying groceries. When the electricity bill piled up, they spent nights in the dim glow of candlelight, laughing at their situation instead of complaining. Ayaan often skipped meals, telling Nadia he had already eaten at work, but she knew the truth. He just wanted her to have enough. Despite the hardships, they found joy in the little things. Ayaan would surprise Nadia with flowers he picked from the roadside, and she would cook his favorite meal with whatever little they had. Their love became their greatest wealth, pushing them forward when everything seemed bleak. One winter, Ayaan fell seriously ill. Without enough money for proper treatment, Nadia sold her last piece of gold jewelry, a bracelet her mother had given her, to buy his medicines. When Ayaan found out, he was heartbroken. "You didn't have to do that," he said, guilt in his voice. but Nadia just smiled and held his hand. "I'd rather lose gold than lose you," she whispered. Their struggles only strengthened their bond. They dreamed of a better future, promising each other that one day their sacrifices would pay off. Ayaan never lost sight of his goals. He worked harder, applying for better jobs, determined to give Nadia the life she deserved. One day, he received an interview call from a multinational company. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Nadia ironed his only formal shirt, encouraging him with a hopeful smile. "This is just the beginning," she said. Through all the difficulties, they never let their love waver. Their struggles tested them, but their sacrifices for each other proved that true wealth wasn't in money. It was in having someone who never gave up on you. And as Ayaan stepped into his interview, he knew one thing for certain. No matter what life threw at them, they would always fight together. The unexpected breakthrough. Ayaan and Nadia had faced countless struggles together, their love growing stronger despite the hardships. Living in a small apartment with barely enough to make ends meet, they had learned to find happiness in the simplest of things. But deep inside, Ayaan carried the weight of his unfulfilled dreams. Every morning, he would wake up before sunrise, juggle multiple jobs, and return home exhausted. Nadia, ever supportive, would greet him with a warm smile, hiding her own worries. They often talked about a better future, but it always seemed just out of reach. One day, as Ayaan was delivering packages for a courier service, he overheard a conversation at a large office building. A group of executives was discussing a major problem with their company's logistics, struggling to find a cost-effective solution. Ayaan, who had spent years working different jobs and observing business operations, instantly saw a potential answer. For a moment, he hesitated. He was just a delivery man. Would they even listen to him? But then he thought of Nadia, of the sacrifices they had made, and gathered his courage. Summoning his confidence, he politely approached one of the executives after their meeting. "Excuse me, sir," he said. "I couldn't help but overhear your discussion. I believe I have a solution that might help." The executive looked at him skeptically, but, intrigued by Ayaan's confidence, decided to hear him out. Ayaan quickly explained his idea, a streamlined, budget-friendly approach to logistics that could save the company a fortune. He spoke with passion, drawing from his years of experience in the field. Impressed by his insights, the executive asked him to submit a detailed proposal. Ayaan worked tirelessly that night, researching and drafting a plan with Nadia's encouragement. She brewed endless cups of tea as he worked, believing in him even when he doubted himself. A week later, he was invited to present his idea to the company's board. Dressed in his only formal shirt, Ayaan stood before a room full of influential businessmen, his hands slightly trembling. But as he spoke, his confidence grew. He wasn't just presenting an idea, he was sharing a vision born from years of struggle. By the time he finished, there was a long silence in the room. Then, the CEO spoke. "Young man, this is brilliant. We'd like to offer you a position in our company." Ayaan could hardly believe it. A simple delivery job had led him to the opportunity of a lifetime. He rushed home that evening, his eyes shining with excitement. As he told Nadia the news, she broke into tears of joy. "This is it," she whispered. "Our lives are about to change." Ayaan's breakthrough wasn't just luck, it was the result of resilience, courage, and the belief that even in the darkest times, opportunities can arise when you least expect them. A test of character. Ayaan's unexpected breakthrough had transformed his life. From a struggling delivery worker, he had become a respected professional in the corporate world. His innovative logistics solution not only landed him a job, but also opened doors to greater opportunities. Within a few years, he climbed the ranks, eventually starting his own successful company. For the first time, he and Nadia no longer had to worry about overdue bills or skipped meals. They moved into a beautiful home, owned luxury cars, and traveled to places they once only dreamed of. The world now saw them as a power couple, an inspiring story of hard work and determination. But with success came new challenges. Ayaan found himself surrounded by people who only valued wealth and status. He was invited to elite gatherings, where discussions revolved around luxury brands, expensive vacations, and business deals. The same society that once mocked his humble beginnings now welcomed him, but only because he had money. At first, Ayaan remained grounded. He would often tell people, "I haven't forgotten where I came from." But as time passed, he became consumed by his work, attending high-profile meetings and social events while spending less time at home. The simple joys he once shared with Nadia, late-night talks, home-cooked meals, and quiet walks, became rare. One evening, as Ayaan sat at an upscale restaurant with influential businessmen, one of them casually remarked, "You're one of us now. You've outgrown your old life." Ayaan smiled, but something inside him felt uneasy. That night, as he returned to their lavish home, he found Nadia sitting alone on the balcony, gazing at the city skyline. "You've changed, Ayaan," she said softly. "We have everything we ever wished for, but I feel like I've lost you." Her words struck him like lightning. He thought back to the days when they had nothing but each other, when they shared meals by candlelight, when she sold her last gold bracelet to buy his medicine, when success was just a distant dream. Had he really forgotten what mattered most? The next morning, Ayaan made a decision. Instead of attending another business gala, he drove to the small apartment where they had started their journey. He stood there for a long time, remembering their struggles, their sacrifices, and the love that had carried them through. That evening, he surprised Nadia with a simple dinner, just like the old days. "I never want success to make me forget who I really am," he told her. "You and our journey mean more to me than all of this wealth." Ayaan began using his success to help others, supporting small businesses and funding education for underprivileged students. He and Nadia remained humble, proving that true success wasn't about riches. It was about staying true to one's values and never forgetting where it all began. Betrayal or blessing? Ayaan and Nadia had built their life on love, trust, and the sacrifices they made for each other. From struggling in a small apartment to achieving financial success, their journey was nothing short of inspiring. But as life often does, fate had one more test in store for them, one that would shake the very foundation of their marriage. As Ayaan's business grew, so did his responsibilities. Late-night meetings, business trips, and constant phone calls became the norm. Nadia understood his dedication, but she missed the days when they would simply sit together and talk. She never doubted his love, until one evening when a single phone call changed everything. Ayaan had been unusually distant for weeks, and Nadia couldn't ignore the feeling that something was wrong. One night, as he stepped into the balcony to take a call, she overheard him say in a hushed voice, "I can't talk right now. I'll see you soon." A sinking feeling settled in her heart. He had been working late, missing dinners, and now, secret phone calls? Was he hiding something? Or worse, someone? The next day, Nadia saw a message pop up on his phone from an unknown number. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Same place?" Her heart pounded. Was Ayaan meeting another woman? She had given up everything for him, stood by his side when he had nothing, and now was he betraying her? That evening, Ayaan left without much explanation. Nadia, unable to control her suspicions, decided to follow him. She saw him enter a high-end restaurant, and moments later, a well-dressed woman joined him at the table. They spoke in hushed tones, and at one point, the woman reached for his hand. Nadia felt her world collapse. She turned and walked away, tears blurring her vision. That night, she didn't wait for Ayaan to return. Instead, she packed a small bag and left for her friend's house, unable to bear the thought of confronting him. When Ayaan returned home and found Nadia missing, panic set in. He called her repeatedly, but she didn't answer. Hours later, she finally picked up, her voice cold. "I saw you, Ayaan. I saw you with her." Confused, Ayaan hurried to explain. "Nadia, it's not what you think. She's an investor. I was trying to secure funding for a charity project I wanted to start in your name." Silence. Ayaan continued. "She was hesitant at first, but when she heard about our story, about your sacrifices, she agreed to help. That's why she held my hand. It was gratitude, nothing more." Nadia's heart ached. Had she been too quick to judge? She returned home the next morning, and Ayaan showed her the project documents, proof of his plans to build a foundation supporting struggling women. Tears filled her eyes as she realized her mistake. "I thought I was losing you," she whispered. Ayaan pulled her close. "Never. You're the reason for everything I've achieved. Nothing, not success, not misunderstandings, will ever change that." Their love had been tested, but in the end, the misunderstanding turned into a blessing. It reminded them that even the strongest relationships need trust, patience, and communication. The power of kindness. Ayaan and Nadia had always believed in kindness, even when they had little to give. During their struggling days, they often helped others in small ways, sharing a meal with a hungry stranger, offering warm words to someone in despair, or simply giving time to listen. They never expected anything in return. They simply believed that goodness should be shared. One particularly cold winter evening, years ago, Ayaan had met an elderly homeless man shivering outside a shop. The man looked frail, his clothes torn, his eyes filled with silent suffering. Ayaan, despite his own struggles, couldn't walk away. He took off his own coat and draped it over the old man's shoulders. "Stay warm, Baba," he said, handing him a small packet of food. The man's eyes welled up with tears, and he grasped Ayaan's hand. "You have a kind heart, son. One day, this kindness will return to you in ways you cannot imagine." Years passed, and life changed. Ayaan became a successful businessman, and he and Nadia built a beautiful life together. They never forgot their humble beginnings, often contributing to charities and helping those in need. But they never imagined how a small act of kindness from the past would one day alter their destiny. One day, Ayaan's company faced an unexpected crisis. A major investor backed out of a crucial project, threatening to push the business into financial ruin. Panic set in as Ayaan scrambled to find a solution. If he couldn't secure funding soon, years of hard work would crumble. As he sat in his office, drowning in worry, his assistant rushed in. "Sir, there's a man here to see you. He says it's urgent." Ayaan, expecting another financial blow, sighed and nodded. But when the man entered, Ayaan froze. He was older now, dressed in an elegant suit, but Ayaan recognized those eyes instantly. It was the same homeless man he had helped all those years ago. The man smiled. "You probably don't remember me, but I never forgot you. That night when you gave me your coat and food, I had lost all hope. But your kindness made me believe in humanity again. I turned my life around, rebuilt my business, and now I'm here because I heard you need help." Ayaan was speechless. The man placed a contract on the table. "Let me invest in your company. Not as charity, but as a partnership. Your kindness once saved me. Now let me return the favor." Tears filled Ayaan's eyes as he shook the man's hand. What had once been a simple act of compassion had come back to him as a miraculous blessing. That day, Ayaan and Nadia learned a powerful lesson. Kindness never goes unrewarded. It may take years, but it always finds its way back, often in ways one could never expect. In a world where societal expectations often dictate the course of individual lives, there are always those who choose to break free from these constraints. Among them is a couple who, despite facing harsh criticism, have chosen to live life on their own terms, undeterred by the judgment of others. Their journey is a testament to resilience, love, and the power of perseverance. At the outset, the couple's decision to pursue their relationship and personal dreams went against the grain of what society expected from them. Whether it was due to differences in background, age, or career choices, their love was scrutinized by friends, family, and even strangers. People questioned their choices, often labeling them as misguided or naive. The whispers in the background were deafening, and with every public appearance, they felt the weight of society's disapproving gaze. But what many failed to understand was the depth of their bond. The couple didn't see their relationship as a rebellion against societal norms. Rather, it was an expression of mutual respect, love, and support. They saw beyond the judgments of others, focusing on what mattered most: the happiness and fulfillment they found in each other. Despite the external noise, their connection was an anchor that kept them grounded, reminding them of why they started their journey together in the first place. As the criticism grew louder, they had a choice to make. They could either conform to society's expectations or continue their pursuit of happiness. They chose the latter. It wasn't an easy path. The couple faced not only verbal attacks, but also the emotional toll of being constantly judged. Friends distanced themselves, and family members voiced their concerns, worried about what the world would think. It would have been easy to give up, to fall in line with what was considered acceptable, but they refused to let fear of judgment dictate their lives. Instead of allowing the negativity to consume them, they used it as fuel. They channeled their energy into proving that love, determination, and perseverance can overcome even the harshest criticisms. Slowly but surely, their actions spoke louder than the words of their detractors. The couple demonstrated resilience in the face of adversity. They supported each other through the toughest moments, celebrated their victories, and showed the world that their love was not something that could be easily dismissed. In time, the naysayers began to fade into the background. The couple's success, whether in their professional lives, personal growth, or their relationship, became undeniable. Their critics had hoped for failure, but instead, the couple's unwavering commitment silenced their doubters. People who once judged them now looked on with admiration. The couple had not only defied society's expectations, but had also proven that love and perseverance could lead to triumph. Their story is a reminder that we don't need to conform to society's idea of success or happiness. By staying true to ourselves and pushing through the obstacles in our way, we can create our own narrative. The couple's journey shows that while society may judge and criticize, those who remain steadfast in their beliefs and love will ultimately carve out their own path and prove the doubters wrong. Destiny has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. For one particular couple, their lives were forever altered by an unexpected inheritance, leading them down a path of business success and personal transformation that none of them could have imagined. It all began on an ordinary afternoon when a letter arrived at their door. The couple, both working regular jobs and living a humble life, had no reason to suspect that this seemingly inconspicuous envelope would change everything. The letter, however, contained news that would set the course for their future. It was from a lawyer, informing them that they had inherited a substantial estate from a distant relative who had passed away. The inheritance wasn't just a sum of money. It included properties, businesses, and valuable assets that no one in the couple's family had known existed. It was as if fate had delivered a surprise they never saw coming. The couple was initially stunned, unsure of how to process the news. They had never anticipated such a windfall, and the responsibility that came with it felt overwhelming. What would they do with this newfound wealth? How could they manage such a vast inheritance? While many would have been tempted to take the money and live a life of luxury, the couple's instincts told them to take a more measured approach. They realized that this inheritance wasn't just about money. It was an opportunity to build something bigger, something that would change not only their lives, but also the lives of those around them. Determined to make the most of their unexpected fortune, they decided to invest in one of the businesses they had inherited. A small, struggling startup that specialized in eco-friendly products. Though they lacked formal business experience, their passion for sustainability and their desire to give back to the community gave them the motivation to take a leap of faith. They poured time, energy, and resources into the company, learning as much as they could about the industry and surrounding themselves with experienced advisors to help guide them. Despite the challenges, their hard work began to pay off. With each passing month, the business grew stronger, attracting more customers who were passionate about environmentally conscious products. The couple's commitment to creating a sustainable future resonated with people, and their company flourished. What had started as a small inherited business turned into a thriving enterprise. Along the way, the couple discovered hidden talents they never knew they had: business acumen, leadership skills, and the ability to inspire others. They found themselves growing not only as business owners, but also as individuals. The once humble couple now had the means to travel the world, invest in new ventures, and pursue their passions without fear of financial constraints. But the transformation didn't stop there. As the business continued to expand, the couple's success began to ripple outward. They used their newfound wealth to give back to the community, providing resources for education, health, and sustainability programs. Their success wasn't measured solely by profit, it was also about the impact they had on the world. They had found a way to turn their unexpected inheritance into something meaningful, something that aligned with their values and vision for the future. In the end, Destiny's grand plan had unfolded before them in a way they could never have predicted. What had seemed like a random twist of fate had transformed their lives, allowing them to tap into hidden potential and change their destiny. Their story is a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected events can lead to the greatest opportunities. It is not just the inheritance or the talent that changes our fate, but how we choose to seize the opportunities that life presents to us. When the couple unexpectedly inherited a vast fortune, their lives were transformed in ways they had never imagined. Yet, amidst their newfound wealth, they remained deeply grounded in the values that had shaped them throughout their lives: humility, gratitude, and a sense of responsibility to others. From the very beginning, they understood that their journey had been a stroke of fate, something that not everyone was fortunate enough to experience. While many might have become consumed by the allure of luxury and excess, the couple remained focused on their roots. They had grown up with modest means, having learned the importance of hard work, resilience, and above all, compassion. It was these values that had guided them through life's toughest moments, and that they knew would keep them humble in the face of abundance. Rather than retreating into a world of privilege, the couple made a conscious decision to use their wealth to not only enrich their own lives, but also to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. They understood that with great fortune came great responsibility. Their success in business, thanks to the inheritance, was just the beginning. The couple felt a deep calling to give back to the community that had supported them, and to those who might never have the same opportunities they had received. Their first step was to invest in causes close to their hearts. They focused on education, believing that access to knowledge could empower individuals and break cycles of poverty. They created scholarships for underprivileged students, provided resources to schools in need, and funded community-based learning programs. For them, education wasn't just an investment in the future of others, it was a way to honor their own journey, as both had grown up with limited access to educational resources, but had managed to build their success through perseverance and self-learning. In addition to education, they turned their attention to health and well-being. They partnered with local charities to provide medical care to underserved communities, built health centers in rural areas, and funded mental health initiatives. The couple knew firsthand how challenging life could be without the proper support, and they wanted to ensure that no one else had to struggle the way they once had. Through their donations and efforts, they were able to help countless individuals gain access to the care they needed, regardless of their socioeconomic background. Their desire to give back also extended to their business. The couple made it a point to implement fair trade practices and ensure that their company's success benefited everyone involved: employees, suppliers, and the communities in which they operated. They offered fair wages, created programs to support employee development, and ensured that their eco-friendly products were made with respect for the environment and for the workers who helped produce them. Throughout it all, the couple never lost sight of where they had come from. They remembered the struggles, the sacrifices, and the lessons learned along the way. Their success wasn't just about wealth, it was about growth, both personally and professionally, and using that growth to uplift others. They made it a point to speak openly about their journey, sharing how important it was to stay humble and grateful, regardless of how much success one achieves. In time, their legacy became one of not only financial success, but also generosity, compassion, and impact. They proved that it is possible to be both successful and grounded, to achieve great things while remembering the importance of giving back. Their story is a powerful reminder that wealth, in whatever form it may come, is truly meaningful when it is used to create positive change in the world. By staying true to their roots and staying committed to helping others, they were able to build not only a thriving business, but a better future for all. The couple's journey, which began with unexpected challenges and the weight of society's judgments, had come full circle. Through perseverance, love, and a deep sense of gratitude, they had not only overcome obstacles, but had also created a life that seemed like a fairy tale. A tale where dreams were not only realized, but turned into something even more extraordinary than they had imagined. In the beginning, they were like many others, struggling to navigate a world full of expectations and limitations. Society tried to define who they should be and how they should live, but they chose to carve their own path. Their story was not one of instant success, but one of steady growth and unwavering commitment to each other. They had faced adversity head-on, yet through every hardship they leaned on love, faith, and patience to guide them. Love was their foundation. It was the force that kept them going through moments of doubt and uncertainty. It was the unwavering belief that together they could accomplish anything. Love didn't mean they didn't have struggles, but it gave them the strength to face each challenge as a team. Whether they were up against financial difficulties, societal judgment, or the complexities of business, their love for each other was the anchor that kept them grounded. Faith was their compass. They believed in themselves, in each other, and in the possibilities life offered. They didn't rely on luck, but on their inner conviction that anything was possible if they worked hard enough, stayed true to their values, and never lost sight of their dreams. Even when the road seemed uncertain, they trusted that the universe had a plan for them, one that would reveal itself in time. Their faith was not blind. It was built on the experiences they had gathered along the way, proof that miracles can happen when you open yourself to possibility. Patience, perhaps the most powerful element of all, was what turned the impossible into reality. In a world that demanded instant gratification, they understood that lasting success and fulfillment didn't come overnight. They were willing to wait for the right opportunities, to nurture their business and relationships, and to believe that all their hard work would eventually pay off. Their patience allowed them to see the beauty in every small step and to celebrate every victory, no matter how small, on their way to achieving their dreams. As the couple stood side by side, looking at the life they had built together, they realized that they had achieved far more than they ever could have imagined. Their business had flourished. They had touched countless lives through their philanthropic efforts, and most importantly, their love had deepened, creating a bond stronger than ever. They had gone from being ordinary individuals to powerful agents of change, not because of their wealth or status, but because they had believed in the transformative power of love, faith, and patience. In the end, their story wasn't just about success or wealth. It was about the journey of becoming. It was about the realization that with the right mindset, nothing is impossible. The couple had faced their doubts, their fears, and the harsh judgment of others, but they had never given up. Their story was a testament to the fact that no dream is too big, no obstacle too great, as long as you have love to guide you, faith to believe in, and the patience to see things through. Their message to the world was simple, yet powerful. Love, faith, and patience can turn the impossible into reality. They had proved it, and now their story would serve as a beacon of hope for anyone daring enough to follow their heart, no matter how impossible the path may seem. And so, as their lives continued to unfold, they knew that their happily ever after was not an end, but a beautiful beginning to an even greater adventure.